Well, if you're anything like me, you want to put 35s on your Jeep Wrangler. I have a Sahara, and this tire definitely rubs on your rear bumper. But also it is very heavy in comparison to stock. So I've been looking at doing the reinforcement on my hinges to make it stronger. But $800 is obscene for that part. Well, what if I could find something that appears to be from the exact same factory that Mopar gets theirs for a fraction of the price? All right, well, here it all is. You do get some instructions that are in English, and all the parts, pieces. I'm telling you, this is absolutely, I think, from the exact same factory as the Mopar parts. It even has Mopar part numbers on stuff. Maybe the only difference that I can see is some of these, like these bolts are 13mm bolts, whereas on the Mopar one, if you buy it from Mopar directly, are Torx bits. So next step, get that tire off. All right, once you have your spare tire off, we're just gonna come on here, pull out from the bottom and take off that cover. Now that you have the cover off, make sure that you retain all of the green clips so you can reinstall, but we're going to want to undo this rubber grommet and then figure out which of these wires is connected to that. Which are those two right there. We're going to disconnect those so that way when we undo the tire carrier, we're not hanging by wires. Everything else will be done with the door closed. We need to remove these 13mm bolts on the tire carrier. We'll need to remove the rubber stops for the longer stops that we're going to put on there, and then we can start working on the hinges. So now I recommend putting some painter's tape to because we're going to be disconnecting these hinges, so just to make sure that everything still aligns when we're done. Honestly, that's an indication of just how light this tailgate is. It's made of aluminum. It's not very heavy, which is why we need to beef it up a bit. All right, now we're going to take these hex bolts and we're going to put the hex bolt in where the hinges are, and then you're going to take these plastic spacers, install that onto the bolt, and then a plastic washer, and then we're going to reinstall that over the hinges, and of course, as always, hand tighten first. And we're just going to come in here and tighten these up using a 6mm hex. So if you notice the orientation, this bump out here is going to be at the top. I believe that is for, like, if you're wanting to run a flag, if you're going to an off-road park. There's some other screws or bolts holes that I honestly have no idea what that would be for, because there's nothing on the other side to correlate to it. All right, next we're gonna put our stopper extensions in. I like to just get it started on the outside and then open up the door when I'm ready for that point and just pull it through the other side. Take these 13mm bolts, put your tire carrier back on, and now there's this spacer that's gonna go on this side, right where those two holes are. All right, so they provided these plastic fill, whatever you want to call them, plastic stud pieces to fill in these. They're not tight, they're loose. So, oh no, you can always buy some of those at your local AutoZone. Next, we're gonna reconnect our third brake light and rear camera. Obviously, you're gonna want to make sure that that opens and closes correctly, but we're gonna reconnect that, put your panel back on, put back on your tire, and you are done. This one does not come with the Jeep performance parts. Obviously, it's not coming from Mopar. Turns out you can buy that logo, if you're so inclined, on Amazon for $40. I had the question of, does this actually like change anything with the tire? Because mine's obviously hitting my bumper. It does not change that. It's only coming out to like here as opposed to all the way in here from before. So what, a change of 1.5 inches maybe, but definitely still hitting. However, changing your wheels and tires, I'm adding a ton of weight over the stock. I believe the stock on the Sierra is a 31-inch tire. I've got Method 17-inch rims with 35s, and it's obviously a lot more weight. This gives you the peace of mind that you're not going to damage your aluminum tailgate. So definitely a huge recommend from me. I had to find it on eBay, but it appears to be coming from the same exact factory as the Mopar one, and it's just unbranded, so huge savings. I think I paid $115 shipped instead of $800 from Mopar. So there you go.